In this video tutorial, I'm going to be talking about using a spreadsheet to import and update any of the existing listings on your Premium Press website. To find these tools, you can find them in the admin area of your website under the Theme Options Tools tab. And for this example, I'm going to be using the Shopper Press theme. However, the tool settings are the same throughout all of the Premium Press products. Here you can import a file that you've created on your desktop, or you can select from a file from your Thumbs folder. And this is useful if you're having problems uploading a file that's of a large size. You can manually upload the file to your Thumbs folder and then select it from the drop down menu here. If you haven't already created a CSV file, you can download a correctly formatted one in XML format by clicking the Download XML file here. This will download a file in XML format that shows you all of the correct headers and gives you a list of all of the existing products or listings on your website. Before we can use this file, however, we must save it as a CSV file. To do that, we just click on File and Save, and from the Save type we select a CSV file. If you're using a Mac, you must select it as a Windows format CSV file, otherwise it will not work and import correctly. If we now look at the CSV file we've just saved, we can quickly identify some key elements that make up the actual products and listings on our website. The first row in our CSV file stores all of the keys. These keys, for example, are the ID, post date, content and post title, etc. need to be the first row in your CSV file, and this tells the import tool what the column is that we're going to be importing. So this column here, for example post title, tells the system that it's going to be importing all of these columns are going to be related to the post title. Everything under the first row represents a single product or listing on our website. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 products, and those represent the 4 products that we have on our website. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we want to go ahead and modify any of these, we can quickly do so by editing the content within the actual row itself. So for example, we might want to change this, for example, product here to new test product. Save the actual CSV file, go back to our website, Tools, choose the file, click on Start Import, and as you can see it's now updated all of the 4 products from our CSV file. And if we go back to our product list, we can now see we have this product here called New Test Product, and that's the product we've just saved in our CSV file. When you import products, there are a number of different elements that you do and don't need. For example, WordPress has a number of default elements such as post status and post type that are defaulted to publish and post. And if you're creating lots of new products at a later date and you forget to enter either a post status or a post type, then the product will not be added to your website. So when you've downloaded the XML file from our website, you might want to delete these columns just in case you accidentally forget to add them at a later date. And that will tell the system to use the default ones which set the product to live. So now we've saved and created this title, we might want to go ahead and modify some of the other elements of our actual product itself. So we can do that just by extending the actual column and row headers and editing the content within it. So if I have a look at this test new content, and say for example we have a price value of 30, I might want to go ahead and change that at a later date. So I scroll across my CSV file, I find the value of 30, and I just change that to something else, so 150. Go back to my website using the CSV tool again, save, go back to my products to confirm that it's checked and updated. I now have the price set there as 150. So that's the very basic but powerful feature using a CSV file to update of your website content. Now, if I go through quickly, the first row, as we mentioned earlier, contains all of the keys. If there is a key here that you've created on your website that you don't currently have in your CSV file, you can simply add it by adding another column and giving the first row, which is the header, the name of the column. So I might want to give us an example here of type. test underscore type, and I'm going to give each one a test type, which is going to be type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Save the CSV file and go ahead and re-import it again. Now if I go back to my products and look, if I scroll down to the bottom, I can see now we have this type element, test type, and the value we've added in our database in our CSV file, type 1. And that allows you to quickly create new custom field values and custom elements within your Premium Press theme. So now if I want to go ahead and create a new product, what I need to do is give it an ID. Now I can't give it the same ID as the database ID for WordPress, so I simply create a new column called SKU. Now what that means, it's a new identifier for this product. Now if I'm going to be importing new ones, I don't want to use the IDs for the default ones, so I would give this a new SKU as well. And generally speaking, I like to manage my files in alpha numeric order 1 to 10. I can ignore this ID here because it doesn't have one, and I need to give it a post content and post title. So I'm going to give it new product 2012, give it some content, test content, and give it an example search description, which is the excerpt, which is a search description. I'm going to scroll across and give it a price, $50, so I'm just going to give it a 50, and the old price, which was 25. And then I'm just going to save this and then do the import process again. Tools, CSV, import. And as you can see now, it's now imported this new product into our website. If I go back to my products list, I can then now see I've added this new product. And what's happened is I've refreshed the website a few times, so it's added a number of new products. If I click on the product itself, I can now see it's got this price of 50 and old price of 25. It's got some test content, the title, and it's got all of the default custom fields set up. So that's the basics of adding a new listing to your website.